Hi, hey girl, hey bro, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome back to the Queenly Disposition. And today I want to talk about self care. So, we spoke about the evolution of self care. We know we're in the month of February. In Jamaica, this would be Black Month, but in the UK, we celebrate that in October. So, I'll wait till October to bring out the good stuff. Today, as I said before, I really want to talk about self care and what it entails. I told you that it's not just about the bubble bath, it's not just about the perfumes, the fragrances, it's not just about pouring love into yourself when it comes on to gifts, even though that's really good, but it actually goes into dealing with the mind issues first and the heart issues first before we then treat ourselves for, you know, dealing with these things. So, the first thing I want to talk about is safety versus spirituality, or safety before spirituality. And what that really looks like is, obviously, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to tell you my perspective based on Christian principles that I personally have. So, if it's a case where the Lord has been nudging you that something is not right, I want you to begin to trust that. I really want you to begin to trust that. If you feel like there's a change in your spirit, like, but you can't necessarily pinpoint what it is, or many times you can actually pinpoint what it is, seriously, seriously, just listen to it and plan an exit strategy. If you are awaiting a certain kind of behavior from a particular group of people, from a particular person, that download usually comes from the Spirit, aka the Ruach HaKodesh, Holy Spirit. So, what I would advise you to do based on that, based on my own experience, is to prepare for that. Who are the people that you may need to reach out to? What kind of prayer should you begin to pray? But journal these things. Look up how to overcome certain things. This is how we begin to be proactive rather than just reactive. And these are steps that I am, my friend, going to definitely take. The second thing I want to tell you is that private faith is absolutely valid. 100% absolutely valid. Okay? What that means is, if you're going through a season of like despair, like lost hope, rebuilding your trust with God, and all of these different things have to do with the spiritual first, it's so important that you take that time out. I know we have a culture that tells us that performing is faith. No. Obviously, you definitely show your actions by, you should definitely show your faith by your works, right? But if you believe that God is with you wherever you go, and you actually need time to dispel from a lot of things that you're doing and actually relax and look at things the way how things are supposed to be, you do not need too many external voices going in your mind, you know, dealing with certain things. Retreating is not always a bad thing. I was gonna say never a bad thing, but it can be a bad thing if it turns into serial isolation. Sometimes, especially if it is that you feel that people are not understanding who you are, or how to speak to you, or you feel like your feelings are not necessarily being taken seriously or being taken care of in the way that it needs to be taken care of, retreating is absolutely so important. um yeah, sometimes you have to just go inward, do your journaling, treat yourself with so much love and tenderness, um to actually get that feeling of safety and security that you may actually need. So, nervous care system, right, is absolutely important. And I think this needs its own video. Absolutely needs its own video. And I'm definitely going to make that video probably today. So if you see this, you know it was made today. We do videos when we're inspired. How many times am I going to say that? But taking care of your nervous system is absolutely so important. You wouldn't believe how many Christians' nervous systems are actually going sporadic. That's why, I mean, and apart from educational reasons, that's why many times you see people spiraling in the church, because their nervous system is spiraling, it is not together. And obviously journaling with the Holy Spirit would absolutely help in this kind of dynamic. As I said, my spirituality lies in Christendom, so I am going to tackle these things from a Christian perspective. Okay, so obviously take some time out to smell the coffee. Take some time out to look around you. What is actually around you? What are the things that you can control? What are the things that you don't know? Why it's what is it? What are the things that are causing anxiety? And it's because there's unsurety about a particular thing, right? How is it that we can actually put steps in place so that you don't feel that nervousness when you are embarking on certain things? It's important to be strategic rather than willy-nilly. We don't just operate off strange faith, but we operate off practiced faith, of a weird faith, not nervous system overload faith. I think the days of doing that because of being in survival mode is absolutely over. You are God's daughter, you are God's son. It's time that you learn how to regulate your nervous system. Yeah, that's my charge for you today. The fourth thing that I want to talk about, especially when it comes on to self-care, is boundaries without explanation. Obviously, it depends, right? If it's a case where, say for example, you haven't necessarily had the energy to socialize, you don't necessarily have the bandwidth to do certain things, right? You could literally just say, listen, right now I am going through a lot. Okay? I don't want to talk about it. And I really hope that you can respect that in this moment. I just need time to be by myself, recompose, and then come again. I'm starting to realize that I'm one of those persons that after a while, I need to listen to the voice of my own. What was I going to say? Of my own head. I need to listen to my own voice, because many people, they would definitely want to help, but I know what's best for me. I will listen to your opinion and I will consider if it works well for my body, for my faith, and for the purpose and goals that I have for myself. The purpose and goals that I have for myself is not something that I widely talk about, because I don't want the scrutiny, I don't want the false beliefs, I don't want the false perceptions, I don't want any of that. So many of times I don't share my goals and my visions because people won't understand it. The people that will understand it, I will share a little bit more with them, right? And so I think a part of boundaries is knowing who you can talk to about what. If it's a case where you feel like if you're going through a sensitive season and a certain person would not be able to bring you through it, that's fine. Just don't talk to them in that time period. And yeah, you can set a boundary, let them know. If you're a person that your system is going, I was gonna say hiatus, but that's not the right word. It's like if you realize that your system is on overload, then take the time out that you need. I feel like the people that love you and understand you will get it. Okay? The other point that I wanted to make is, it's not only when you're useful that you deserve to be loved. As a Christian who grew up in the Pentecostal church, this is something that I had to come to terms with. I don't have to be speaking in tongues for 10 hours to be loved by God. I don't need to be earning a certain amount to be loved by God. I am loved and accepted by God. He chose me for a particular purpose. And sometimes he will mess up our time, not mess up our timeline, but yeah, mess up our timeline. Yeah, mess with our expectations, because there is healing that needs to be done. There is self-care that needs to happen. There are things that need to be attended to. And so obviously we need to learn that if we're not able to operate at optimal capacity, then you still deserve to be loved. Something that I had to learn as well is that I can look like a mess and I still deserve high treatment. there could be negative 1,000 in my account, which I don't think that has ever happened. I was gonna say not yet, but I was gonna say not yet. But to be fair, right? It's all a part of billing credit. When you have negative, like it's not like building credit. That's bad advice. Don't listen to that. Okay, that's not good financial advice. But what I'm essentially saying is your credit score, your credit, you know, your it doesn't matter how much you have in your bank account essentially. That does not dictate the amount of love and the standards that you're supposed to have. Oh, no. Your standards come based on your heart. The self-care that you deserve comes based on your heart and what it is that you actually need. And the last thing that I want to talk about is the ability to reparent yourself. Our parents did the best that they can with the information that they had and what they thought was absolutely important. I want you to slow down, accept the fact that your parents are just human beings who did the best that they can, and now you actually have to reparent yourself. What are the things that you want to accomplish in this life? And I'm holding my heart because I feel like this is such a sensitive topic. What are the things that you were never able to do that you know that this is something that you want to do? This is something that you need to learn how to put into practice. And that is obviously reparenting yourself, rebuilding your trust, trusting your own voice, trusting the way how your body feels, trusting what you believe that the spirit is saying. Obviously, there are things and methodologies that you can apply. And as I said, the more videos we do, the deeper we go. But there are methodologies that you can apply to fact check what it is that you're feeling. There's methodologies that you can apply that you can fact check what the spirit is saying to make sure that it's not actually your mind, but it's the spirit. And you're not speaking from your experiences, but from your future, like where you're heading to. There are things that you can put in place, and I think that is something that we need to begin to actually explore and just walk in that trajectory. Know that you are loved, you are absolutely appreciated, and in this walk you have a sis on YouTube that you're walking with this whole journey, because we need to maximize our potential, because there's people that we need to reach. But first, we need to learn how to take care of ourselves. So thank you so much for watching this video about self-care, how to self-care the right way. And I will see you guys next week. I'm playing around with like different colors of eyeliner. I want an orange. I'm gonna get an orange one soon. I want a white one and I want a yellow one. Okay, kisses. I'll speak to you later. Bye.